All right, so giving you a little update on this thing. It's taking forever. We apologize. But these are the dummy blocks we made that represent your bedway and your machines. They're perfectly trued. So we got it up against the master, and then this would be your gib side. The problem was that where the gib actually bolt meshes up against this surface wasn't perfectly 90 degrees. We got the far one done. This is your end result on the gib. Nice and sexy looking. It does have a little bit of, a little bit more bluing than we typically put on it, but it just gives you an idea of the contact surface on this thing, which is incredible. That goes to this side, which is all done. But this one is almost there. It's got really good contact, but you can see there's a little bit of holes. Not the end of the world. He's gonna touch this up tomorrow morning, and then we could take this off the machine and start doing all the lubrication. The one thing I did forget to ask you guys is if you could figure out the thickness of the way, so then that way we can put our binders on. I'm gonna come behind you real fast. So what the binders are these right here. The previous company didn't remove the Amco bronze here, which is not a big deal though, because let's say if it's too tall, or they got screws on the backside of them, so we could adjust it. And then two is if this thing isn't thick enough, I could always grind the surface so then that way it secures more to the way surface. So if you guys can determine the thickness of your way, if you guys can just measure that with any calipers or whatnot, that way we could get a rough idea. But fitting this is not going to be a problem because you have a surface grinder out there. If we fit these flat, it shouldn't be an issue. But just trying to prepare yourself a little bit more. But once he finishes that gib, we will take this thing off and start putting all the lubrication on this machine. You could see the points. Let's see where they at. So you have a lubrication line that goes here where it comes out on the ways, as well as here. So we're going to be just drilling a bunch of holes, not new holes, but the same holes as before, just so we could get lubrication there and everywhere else. And then we did buy a bunch of MO meters. We were told by Lube USA that's the best way to go with it because of your application. You guys originally had CJBS on here, which is constant flow, which is good, but you didn't have a constant flow pump. It wouldn't match up. Constant flow is good for grinders, even though you guys do grinding on it, but it's a one-shot system. So I bought you guys a programmable one. We could move it. We can move the duration of how long the pump comes on, as well as how fast you want the pump to come on. So if you want it to go on for 30 seconds, wait 5 minutes, 30 seconds, wait 5 minutes, or if you want it to be on for 5 minutes and then wait 30 seconds, you can do whatever you want to it. So that way it would be better for your application. And we're gonna have to honestly play with it a little bit to see which one works best for you guys, for what you guys are looking for. So I'll go into detail a little bit more with that one, but just want to give you an update of where we're at. This stuff is it's a pain in the ass to scrape. It sucks. So expect another video from me probably tomorrow or the next day of that being completed and this thing flipped over, and we are going to put 2 guys on this thing, just start running copper lines and figure out where everything should go, because this is what we have to reinvent. We got all these. We're going to have to buy new ones of these too, because, I already got these. But we'll have to play with this thing and see how we're going to set up on your machine and such, and then go from there. So, yeah, but if you could give me that information, that would be great. And then look for another video for tomorrow. Thank you.